Hey, Nicole from Tax Wars here. I'm just coming to you tonight regarding a topic, canceled debt and tax treatment of that. So most of you may know that when your clients have any kind of canceled debt during the year, can be credit card debt, car loan, even mortgage that's canceled during the year. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of these as we get into the near future. But when these happen and the debt is canceled, the taxpayers do receive a 1099-C form. So when they get this form, that is actually the way that the companies report to the IRS that the debt has been canceled, so that clients can include that as income on their tax returns. So once again, that's the 1099-C, which I'm sure you've seen for your clients before in the past. There is a topic here on the IRS website, topic number 431. This topic is about canceled debt and whether it's taxable or not. So there has a lot of question, especially when things are arising with recent updates on maybe having student loan forgiven in the future and things to that effect. There is a question of, will that be taxable on people's tax returns once the student loan debt is forgiven? Or is that something that will not be taxable on their tax returns? So this is something that we'll go over a little bit more. Today, we just kind of want to go over just some different exceptions to the cancellation of debt income. So just some forms of debt that can be canceled without including it in your income. So amounts canceled as gifts, devices, or inheritances, those are not included in income. So they do have here certain qualified student loans canceled under the loan provisions, that the loans would be canceled if you work for a certain period of time in certain professions for a broad class of employers. So in that case, if that was to occur and that's how you got your student loan debt canceled, then you would not have to include that as income on your tax return. It would simply be forgiven, and there would be no consequence as far as income tax on that. Certain other educational loan repayment or loan forgiveness programs to help provide health services in certain areas, those would be exception to cancellation of debt being included in income. Amounts of canceled debt that would be deductible if you, as a cash basis taxpayer, paid it. The fifth one would be a qualified purchase price reduction given by the seller of property to the buyer. And then the sixth one would be any amount discharged from certain federal, private, or educational student loans. So what it looks like here is that a lot of the student loan debt that could be canceled could be used as an exception to the cancellation of debt income requirement, and would most likely not even receive a 1099-C as far as needing to report that to the IRS, or then once again having have your taxpayer report that on their tax return as income. Also, there are some other ways that you can make sure that the taxpayer does not have to include that on their tax return. Basically, there are some exceptions as well that that will allow you to exclude the income from the taxpayer's gross income. The number one reason would be insolvency. So if the taxpayer is insolvent, then that's just a big reason why you're able to you still have to include it on the tax return, but then you can include the Form 982 to just make sure that that's not included as actual income. Also, debt canceled in a Title 11 bankruptcy case, cancellation of qualified farm indebtedness, cancellation of qualified real property business indebtedness, and cancellation of qualified principal residence indebtedness that is discharged and subject to an arrangement that is entered into and evidenced in writing before January 1st, 2026. So basically what that last one is saying is if your home is taken, if you're unable to pay your mortgage and you lose your qualified principal residence, then that is one way that you will not have to worry about including that 1099-C income as actual gross income on the taxpayer's tax return. So we will touch a little bit more on this and get a little more in depth, but once again, you'll receive that 1099-C for these, and then you'll just go ahead and file a 982 form along with the tax return to make sure that this is not included in your taxpayer's gross income. Well, that's just a little update on the 1099-Cs and some of what we'll be seeing in the future when debt gets canceled for student loans, and then also anything else that people are just unable to pay. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then once again, just share this video with anyone that's going to benefit from it, and anybody in the tax community that files tax returns for people, because it will be something that we'll see a lot more in the near future. All right, thank you and have a great night.